And I think we need to get that into everybody's head. Like, not everybody can be a main character. Nobody is looking at you. Nobody is looking at you. So sorry. So sorry. Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning, good morrow, and good day. Today is Fatlogical Friday.
It's Fatlogical Friday. It's Fatlogical Friday. It's Fatlogical Friday. Be-la-loo-lee-la.
What do you guys think about that song? It plays in my head every time I say Fatlogic Friday or anything like that. Makes me want to sing that song. So now it's going to be a part of the episodes every single day. Okay, so today, it's Friday. We're going to visit Fatlogic on Reddit. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what Fatlogic is anything that deviates from scientific facts of body weight management. This can range from fundamental misunderstandings of how biology I'm keeping that, and physics work to lengthy political diatribes about how everything is society's fault. Falling victim to fat logic means accepting misinformation that will harm efforts to keep your body at a healthy weight or lose weight if you need to do so. So do. Now, before we get into the fat logic, I do want to ask, do you guys like my shirt? Yes, I've made it. I've made my diabetical shirt. And I plan to make more and sell them. But I'm unsure. I'm unsure about the business model. I have some ideas, so please go check out my community post and chit and chat with me about that. I have some questions about pricing that I'm just like, I don't know. First of all, you guys know I'm a cheapo. Second of all, I hate fast fashion and I love to thrift. Now, the idea of thrifting shirts and putting my art on them and selling them, it's not going to be as cheap as me buying bulk blank tees, putting my art on them and selling them. But I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that loop of fast fashion. If it's important to you, I want to sell you a shirt that has been around the globe a while and has my art on it. So I don't know. We'll chat about it. But please go check out my community post. I'm gonna post right after I film this. The entire time I was getting ready for this and fixing my camera and everything, all that's playing in my head is, do you know you have 30 minutes?
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you kidding me? 30 minutes?
Because I don't have a lot of time. It's 5:19 in the a.m. I still have to go to work today, and I have to film this, edit, and post it. So there's not gonna be a ton of edits, but guess what? I mean, y'all got 3 episodes this week, and I'm super proud of myself for that. I just love and appreciate you. So if you are new here, please consider giving me a subscribe. Go ahead and like the video. If you're not new here, thank you so much for returning. Me love you. And if you're a member and you're an Eggie, you're part of the plan. Thank you very much for appreciating me and thinking that my voice and my opinion are worth $2 a month. Make me holla. Make you holla too, because we laugh and giggle and kick our feet.
Ryan!
On the weekends, every weekend, once a week. But anyway, let's begin, okay, you guys? Let's begin. So we're going to Fatlogic. We're going to chit. We're going to chat. We're going to talk a lot of trash. About the fats and some of the things that they believe, I guess. Their logic, which is infuriating, mind-boggling, and migraine-inducing. Already, I'm seeing one that's a little bit infuriating, so we're just going to just jump right in. We're going to read it. The first one, not sure how this works. Okay, the female body, for some reason, has tons of mechanisms to gain weight unrelated to consumption. The male body, on the other hand, has virtually none, meaning if you're fat as a man, it's entirely your own fault, you hungry hippo. Disagree. If you are 400 pounds, that is not... obesity, first of all, obesity doesn't care what gender you are. If you're 400 pounds, it is due to the fact that you overate. Will I say that maybe it's easier for women to gain weight? I'm not a scientist, but I would say that women put on fat faster than men because women naturally need more body fat than men. I'm not saying that you need 400 pounds of body fat, but I'm saying that like I think evolutionarily, that's not a word, I don't think. It is a word. We women can have the ability to put on fat faster because in a time of famine, I think that's just genetically how it is. I mean, we have to carry babies and stuff, so it makes sense that we would need more uh storage. It does make sense to me. It makes sense. It makes sense. We have more estrogen in our body, so that estrogen stores fat faster than testosterone would. Check it. Google it. We can Google it. You know, Google it. But yeah, no, estrogen. It is due to our hormones. Estrogen stores more fat than like a male body full of testosterone. I had a friend who was going through perimenopause or something like that. She was going through something hormonal, right? And her doctor recommended her getting on testosterone, just like one shot a month or something like that. Something crazy. I mean, something not anything crazy like not anything to help her like gain a shit ton of muscle or anything like that. It was just to help. I mean, it helped with her libido, but then she started losing weight like crazy. And I was like, "Damn, do I need some tea? Do I need that?" I don't know. The reason why it's easier for women to gain weight is evolutionary. We have to prep for having babies. But here's the thing. It's 2026. We are in control of when we can have babies most of the time. And there is no need for anybody to be obese, one. And then second of all, if you are overweight or obese, it is due to the fact that you're one, eating food that's not right for your body, and two, you're eating too much. Period. Can't wait to see why BMI, body mass index, is racist, sexist, and ableist. And she's got I was going to say an obesity pump. Oh my God. Be sleepy, I guess. A diabetic pump. I hope this person can manage to find healthier mindset. This feels like they're in a negative spiral. Ooh, we love a negative spiral. Okay. Being fat means mentally having to remove yourself from all happy future possibilities that you could have with skinny people. Who we can be is dwindled down to nothing because we are told that skinny people actively hate us in person and only desire us behind closed doors. You know what's crazy? The only people that are telling you that stuff are other fat people. Other fat people fearmonger other. I knew there was something wrong here. Ah, I was like, do I have jaundice? Okay. Um, the only people that are telling fat people that like skinny people hate them and that nobody wants you unless it's behind closed doors, your boyfriends are only going to want to hide you or anything like that are other fat people. Like nobody, all of my anybody that I know who is of thin and not of obese, they don't really care. You guys, they really don't care. I think that's a problem that society has nowadays, especially in the fat acceptance community, is like, do you really think that people care about you that much? Like, I mean, not talking about like caring for others, caring and loving your neighbor or whatever, but like, do you really think that people care about other people that much? Like, to the point that being in your presence is going to ruin their day or something? Me not know. And if we, God forbid, like a handsome skinny person and want to date them, it's unrealistic or creepy regardless of gender. Although AFAB people usually get the shit end of the stick because men would rather die than look bad to other men by dating her, even if he loves her. I'm not seeing this. I am not seeing this. Like, if anything, a lot of fat creators, their spouses are handsome or their boyfriends are handsome or whatever like that. We're talking about AFAB people. So I don't see how they get the shit end of the stick. Maybe you're in the wrong town. Maybe it's time to move. Maybe you're looking for people in the wrong area. I mean, don't try to meet your boyfriend at a bar, I guess, or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. The other thing too is we're all meeting people on Tinder. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I really don't care if you meet your person on a website or something like that, but you're going to have to kiss a lot of toads. You know what I mean? I don't think that AFAB fat people get the shit end of the stick because men don't like to be with fatties. I think women run into a lot of problems with men in general, right? And even if he loves her, No, if your person loved you, they would show you all over, right? The other thing too is we have um we do have unrealistic standards, you guys. I really do think that people in 2026 have unrealistic standards as far as like what your spouse should look like or what um like it's very shallow. Like she's like, I'm not allowed to have a hot boyfriend because I'm fat. And that feels very shallow to me. Like, are we only looking, I mean, I can understand you have to be sexually attracted to your spouse or whatever like that, but like, are there other parameters? Is having a super hot, sexy boyfriend, is that a, a deal breaker for you if they're not a 10? Do you guys have those? If the person that you're talking to is not a 10, is that a deal breaker? Because I just never been able to experience, especially probably because I grew up as like a fat person. I never could I never had that as um a privilege, I guess. I always was a personality person. Probably since the day I came out of the womb. You know what I mean? I like to laugh, right? I can't imagine a scenario where someone handsome and skinny falls in love with me because I've been conditioned that fat people are ugly and unlovable, neither of which describe me. I want to see though, are you ugly? Just kidding. And that all skinny people hate me. Literally, this does sound like a diary. It sounds like this is clearly it's on Tumblr, but it's like it sounds like she's writing her diary like,
Dear diary, I'm just so ugly and fat, and people don't love me, and skinny people just want to fucking put me in the gutter or something.
why has a skinny person never pursued me? Oh my god. Why am I always someone's last choice because I'm not naturally a twig? No, it's because I mean, honestly, you're probably like this IRL. Probably so sad, no personality. You are literally that blue person from Inside Out. I don't know is her name Depression? Sadness? Every time I cone across this, oh, sorry. Anytime, cone, girl, ice cream. Every time I come across a skinny, handsome man who seemingly loves women, he dates exclusively twigs. Why do we think that is? Because he has been conditioned to think skinny women as the top of the food chain and therefore the most desirable. Fat women are beneath him. You choose to be fat, maybe, but not everyone does, and losing weight can be both dangerous to your health and unnecessary. And being obese can't be dangerous to your health. Like, can we be for real? It's so crazy how they're like, I cannot lose weight because if I do, that's gonna hurt me. When they don't look in the mirror and be like, like they don't understand that like being obese is worse. Everybody in the United States is fat. Every single person. Not even we're not looking up statistics. Everyone is. I'm lovable, I'm handsome, I'm an excellent partner and friend. There's no reason for people to make me feel like I don't matter just because I'm not skinny. No fat person should be made to feel that they don't matter or deserve love, regardless of how they got fat. It's inhuman. You people,
What do you mean, you people?
just don't care because you're terrified to be associated with one of us or to admit to yourself that on any given day, something could happen to your health and make you fat. And then, God forbid, you become one of us, like it's a disease you catch or some shit. I mean, obesity isn't a disease that you catch like in the air, but it is a disease, and nobody should be striving to get a disease. You know, like I don't want it. I'm sorry. It's fine to have preferences. It's fine to not want to date fat people. It's this person is saying it's fine, but then they're like literally spiraling that they can't find a hot, skinny boyfriend. What's not okay is believing that dating a fat person is bad or that you're gross for liking a fat person or vice versa. Literally nobody does that. I mean, if you are making fun of somebody because their girlfriend is fat, that's weird to me. I just in 2026, like, why are we doing that? Because I don't know, it's just giving like you're going to be single forever if you think like that. Fat is not a dirty word, it's a fake insult. Oh, my steak is too big and my lobster is too juicy. Oh no, my steak is too big and my lobster is too juicy. Shut the fuck up, actually. We're all just people. You just happen to be an asshole about it. My steak is too juicy and my steak is too big and my lobster is too juicy doesn't make any sense here, but maybe I'm not seeing the context. Thoughts? This person literally is just revealed to the world that they have such negative thoughts about themselves. Like nobody no I really don't think that, I don't even think people in the anti-fat acceptance realm think that most fat people are disgusting or anything like that. Like, because everybody is fat, I don't think people think like that about other people. I don't think that there's a limit. I definitely think there's a limit. Like, I think, let's, for example, think about Amberlynn Reed. I don't think that Amberlynn Reed, I think that she is not a great person. And I do think negative thoughts about her. I, I, but she's also like not an influencer. She's also a person on the internet who is well known. And but when I think of somebody, when I look at somebody else like IRL, I think mostly sad thoughts. I don't think disgusting or anger or rage or anything like that. I think like, dang, how'd they get there? Or sometimes I just don't even think about them. I don't think that people care about other people in public often. Like, I really just don't. I don't think that people care. And I think we need to get that into everybody's head. Like, not everybody can be a main character. Nobody is looking at you. Nobody is looking at you. So sorry. So sorry. Although somebody did mention, and they are right, somebody did mention in the comments the other day, they're like, when we walk into a room, we will notice like the largest person, like depending on how, the room, how the room is filled, but like we will notice, like if somebody's 500 pounds, I am gonna notice. I would never say anything to them. I would never be like, holy shit, you're huge, how'd you get there, or anything like that. Just like I wouldn't really necessarily, like, if I came into a room and there was somebody who was like 7 feet tall, I wouldn't be like, holy shit, you're tall. You know what I mean? Like, nobody does that anymore. This is not the 90s. This is not 90s television. Like, nobody's doing that anymore. I will notice, but I'm gonna notice like this. You know what I mean? So this is what's the word? Is it projection? This is somebody just revealing that they think that badly about themselves, that they believe that people around them are conspiring and thinking that they are the worst, I guess, just because they're fat, when that's just not happening. It ain't happening. An angel loses its wings anytime somebody brings up starvation mode. Apparently not, because fun fact, eating more makes you lose more weight when you're pandarexic, especially when you're only eating 500 to 700 cows a day. Eating like 1,200 will make you lose weight faster because your body isn't in starvation. No, she's right. When I was carving, I barely went down in weight at all, but because I just started eating more like 1 to 13 cows a day, I literally lost 30 to 40 pounds in a year. It was crazy. Eating too little and fast too much in your body's GNA. Oh, gonna produce. My God. Y'all, it's okay. I do misspell a lot. I was gonna say it's okay to use proper grammar and language, but I don't. So I will say this. I don't believe in carvation mode, because there are people who are carving, they eat less than like 700 cows a day. So I don't know. I'm not, the mechanism that they're bringing up, I just don't think is the thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's not a vibe.
Like, it's not the vibe. Stop!
But I will say that like it will slow down your metabolism to the point where your body will like just get used to that, and then you're kind of fucked, because then you're just having to eat like that either until you get to a goal weight where that can maintain that amount of cows in a day, or I don't think that you will gain weight from eating 700 cows a day, because that's not how the laws of thermodynamics work, and that's not how intake works. Like, you're not, what is that? Like 2 sandwiches? Like, you're not gonna, I don't know. That's just not how it works. Let me know in the comments what you think. If I'm getting that mechanism correct, that the process, it can slow down your metabolism to the point where I think like your TDEE might baseline to the new TDEE baseline is going to be 700 calories, and then when you start to like increase your intake, then you will gain weight. Maybe that's it. I'm just spitballing. We're just talking like we are on a group chat or something like that. Okay, like we're just chitting. We're chatting. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. If you reduce the amount of cows in a day, you're reducing how much food goes into your mouth. You will lose weight. But there's nuance. You guys know I am a low carb baddie, and I will say that if you were to like, so if your TDEE was like 2,000 calories and you wanted to like cut out 300 and you're like, I'm gonna eat 1,700 calories, and I think it would be a slower loss if you ate 700 calories of just like candy and uh, highly processed carbohydrates versus eating 1,700 calories of like just whole foods and no refined sugars or refined carbohydrates. I don't know. We're just talking. We're just chatting. They're called diet cookies because it's a mirror illusion. What? Even Minnie Mouse isn't immune to Japan's diet culture. Then it says, try my diet cookies. Try my diet cookies. Today's to-do list: call Mickey, do some mousercise, make Mickey bento lunch, eat a nutritious breakfast, water the flowers. Minnie's house was so cute but could use an update in their messaging. Why are you making Mickey Mouse lunch when you don't even live together? They don't live together. You know they're not married. I don't think they are. They're not married and they don't live together. They're on an eternal courtship. He's always wanting to... yeah, they don't live together. Why are you making his bento lunch? Does Mickey starve without you? I wonder if that's really what it says. Let me see if I could do like a... When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances. Yeah, try my diet. Memo Mini, watashi no try cookies diet kui tabete mite mini. I do want to know why they are diet cookies. It's a mirror illusion. Is it because they're not real cookies? I wonder if you try to reach in there, it looks like you can pick them up, but they're not. Mouser size and a nutritious breakfast, I'm assuming, is what's triggering this person who's taking the photos. It is a cute house, though. It's very 90s. The purple and the green. Minnie got style. Minnie got style. All right, body dysmorphia is when you think you look your... Oh. Body dysmorphia is when you think you look obese when you are. Body dysmorphia is so hard. I had to look up what a 170-pound 5'2" woman looked like to see if I was obese or not. I'm 5'2", 180. I can't get over feeling huge. That is big. I'm 175 to 180, depending on if I pooped that day, and I'm obese. But I'm 5'4", so I'm wondering at 5'2", it's kind of crazy, you guys. Like, literally, I didn't think that an inch was gonna do much, but like, yeah, a couple inches is gonna. It will make you look different at 100. Like me at 180 versus a 5'2" person at 180, we do look different. Obese is not the same as chubby. You are beautiful. Don't let it get to your head. Everyone carries weight differently. This is true. There was somebody in the comments the other day who was like, I don't understand how you're 5'4" and obese and a size 10. And I was like, me not either, but I am. And her and I were the same size, like dress size. We were both size 10. We're both 5'4", but she is, I think 170. I don't really remember, or 164, something like that. She was like lighter than me. I think bone density plays into it as well. I would love to get a DEXA scan and see where my bone density is at. Especially, I actually do need to get one of those done because I'm on Cytomel, which is a T3 replacement for my Hashimoto's. And if you're on it for a long time, it can kind of, you have to supplement with like calcium and stuff like that, because if you don't, then which I should probably up, I should up mine. But if you don't, you can lose bone density. But anyway, you can look at my jaw. I do have thicker bones. I'm not a little birdie. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm big boned, but like, I really do believe that I am big boned. Like, I have a thicker structure. And I would say that's from my dad because he's like Scottish or whatever, but I am big boned, okay? It is a thing. It is a thing. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Ba-da-da-da. 5 foot and over 150, trust me, EBB carried. Everybody carries weight differently. I don't disagree that people carry weight differently. I mean, we just talked about it. The number on the scale / BMI isn't necessarily the full story. People carry weight differently than others, so weight can look immensely different. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too, is like my BMI is high, but my waist to height ratio is healthy. But I mean, I'm still technically obese. Maybe I have more muscle than I think, but I really don't think so. Everyone's saying it is, but I don't know. I look good. No photo. People are confused in the comments. You are not obese. You look a little overweight but healthy. If you are not having issues health wise related to weight or physical activity, you are not obese. That's not how it works. The obese is literally scaled on the BMI scale. Just because you can do other things, that's like telling somebody like if you're 400 pounds but like you have, you know, your health markers haven't caught up with you and you can actually move, that you're not obese. But they are, because they are 400 pounds. You are healthy and losing weight would just be for yourself. You look absolutely fine. TikTok users are just mean. What is everybody's problem on my F and G? Also, just a reminder, the BMI index is completely out of date. Yes, it can sometimes be accurate, but for example, I'm 5'1" and 160 pounds. It says I'm class 2 obese. I eat healthy all the time and exercise daily. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you're not obese. If you eat healthy all the time and exercise every day and you are still obese and you're not doing strength training that's got to make you gain, 50 pounds of muscle, you're eating too much. I can promise you look beautiful. Or you're either eating too much or you do have like something that's causing you to lose weight slowly. Like, I'm not going to deny that. I have PCOS and Hashimoto's, and it does make losing weight slower. Not impossible, but it does make it frustrating. It does make it frustrating. You have to adjust a lot. Your TDE is lower, like, and it sucks. Okay, everything everybody says about me. When your friend hears you say, I can't eat that, I'm being good, they hear, you're bad or you wouldn't be eating that. And you wouldn't be fat. No, I think that people can be, listen, this reduces fat people to the mentality of a child. It really does. It infantilizes fat people. We are all smarter than we think, right? If you heard your friend saying, I can't eat that, I'm being good, but if I eat that, that means that I'm bad. That's not, we all know when someone says a surrounding food, when they're like, I'm trying to be good today, that they're like, I'm trying to stay on plan. It's just less words. Language can be like that. Language can be fun, and you can use other words to mean other things. It doesn't necessarily, like, good and bad doesn't always mean like good and evil or morally good and bad. And maybe, and the other thing too is like, they're not saying that I'm being good, I'm trying not to be fat. They could be saying I'm being good, I'm trying to not have a flare with my Hashimoto's. Like me, I have Hashimoto's and I have to be good. I can't have beer or bread or cheese because it can cause a flare and it sucks. If you hear your friend say something like that, and you're also putting words into like other people's mouth, or like thinking for them, and I just think that that's just so immature. It is immature. This person, whoever posted this, makes it sound like fat people are children. I don't want to be bad. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, you guys? I don't want to be bad. And also, what do they need to wear earmuffs every day? They can't hear anybody talk ever. Like, you're bad or you wouldn't be eating that. Nobody, who cares about being bad in 2026? We need Jesus, if anything. Okay, that's not how it works. Let's see here. I went to get seen to check out a post-car accident. Okay, I went to get seen to get checked out post-car accident. Wow, that was so hard for me to read. Why can't I read today? I went to get seen to get checked out post-car accident, and they were like, are you in any pain? And I said, I am a bit sore. And they said, have you considered losing weight? I don't think it probably didn't happen in that order. I'm sure that was brought up at the end. Ah, yes. Losing weight would have stopped that dude from rear-ending me. How could I have been so foolish? I'd actually argue that you'd have a better survival rate and less injury due in a car accident because of the fat protects your internal organs. No, the fat is strangling your internal organs. But I would say that I bet there was a little bit more cushion and a little less pain as far as like the seatbelt. I will tell you guys a story. One time my husband and I got into a car accident, and when we got out of the car to like check everything out, everybody was like trying to help us and whatever. There was this lady who I'm assuming was like a nurse or something, but she was asking me if I was a type 2 diabetic. Like when I got out of the car, because when stuff like that, like when trauma like that happens, or you get into like a car accident, it can mess with your blood sugar levels and stuff like that. Also, I think that they would probably need to it's just information that's needed to know. It's information for like medical people to know, I guess. But I remember like being in this car accident, and then we're like trying to empty out our car so that it can get towed away or whatever. And me thinking in my head the entire time while people are, we're talking to the cops and everything, and in my head I'm thinking that lady thinks I'm fat. Like, I was so embarrassed that this lady asked me if I had type 2 diabetes. I probably did, but no, I don't think I did. But I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was just in a car accident going, like, probably would have posted on here if I was in the fat acceptance community, but I was like, oh my God, this lady thinks I'm fat. But I don't know. It's just so embarrassing. Are people really wishing for this, though? Wishing to be infected with a parasite because it will help you lose weight is textbook fatphobia. I've been joking about it. I have been joking about it. Like, I saw this post yesterday about Taco Bell having the diarrhea parasite or whatever, and I replied to Peter, if you're watching, I replied to your thing, and I was like, I wouldn't be mad. It's a joke, though. I don't want to have diarrhea parasite, okay, guys? People would rather have a parasite the length of their intestines eating up whatever they're able to ingest and have fat in their body. We are in hell. Oh, girl. I mean, it is kind of crazy that that is something that people wanted back in the day. Like, if you are familiar with, like, the tapeworm diet. But I think people really wishing for the diarrhea parasite are just joking. Again, this is infantilizing people, or, like, making it so that people who are fat just can't read a room or read a joke or whatever. I don't know. And I'm talking about fat people in general. I'm not talking. I know that that's a difficult thing for people who are neurodivergent, but not every fat person is neurodivergent. Okay. Schmeating or BDs are not being fat phobic LMAO. If you're willing to hospitalize yourself to lose weight, you have a beating recorder. Stop. True. That recorder itself, or the person with a beating recorder, is not inherently being fat phobic. BDs arise from fat phobia, like fucking duh. No, BDs are like a mental disorder. Do you think that let's go back to the 1800s or whatever, those two carving girls, the fasting girls, Victorian era. What era is that? 1800s to 1800s. Do we think that the fasting girls saw a person like Tess Holliday and was like, me not want to be like that, me want to carve myself? No, it's a mental disorder. It's something that, just a chemical imbalance, something, a screw loose, whatever. But beating recorders are not caused by people just being like, I don't want to be fat. It is a mental thing, which can be caused by trauma or stress or both. Like, I wish that, can you just fucking read? Like, do they not know how to read? Do they not? I swear to God, they just hear stuff on the internet and they don't even, like, want to look it up. Like, they don't even want, like, nobody wants to fact check anymore. Nobody wants to fact check anymore. It's annoying. It is annoying. Like, don't you want to learn? Aren't you interested? Aren't you fascinated by knowledge? Like, I don't know how people can, like, just jump onto the internet, spout off whatever their friends are saying, and not even if it sounds like insane, they just believe it. Like, what's coming to my mind right now? People who say that when you tell people that they're fat, it stresses them out and then they gain fat. Like, that's not how cortisol really truly, that is such a simple simplification of how cortisol puts body fat on your body, but also the fat acceptance community, they claim that they don't care if they're called fat. So what do you mean if someone calls you fat, that's going to stress you out and you're going to get more fat? You're eating too much. You are eating too much. You're eating too much. And that's not fat phobic. That is a fact. People who are morbidly obese, gigantonormously sized, they are eating too much. It's a fact. Or maybe, and I just follow me on this thought, okay, so you probably didn't look anything up. People make that crack as a sardonic statement. Okay, or maybe, and just follow me on this thought, people are making that crack as a sardonic statement. I doubt the majority of people who have this, including me, didn't purposely seek out potentially contaminated produce. I made a very similar joke as in your post while in the ER last night. I also thought that donuts and beer don't pull crap like this. Was that being insensitive to people with gluten allergies? Not everything on this planet is meant to be offensive. If you feel offended, maybe ask why. Yes. Thank you, person on the internet. If you feel offended, why do you feel offended? Because you are because you're judging yourself. You really are judging yourself. How is it being fat phobic? Fat phobia is not a thing. What the fuck are you on? The concept of wanting to be unhealthy because it will help you lose weight is inherently fat phobic. They're willing to give up their health because that they think being fat is worse. So 1, it's a joke. It is a joke. 2, they think that being fat is worse. I don't think that, again, it's a joke, but also being fat isn't good. Being fat isn't good. Now tell me in the comments below, would you rather have diarrhea or be obese? Would you rather have diarrhea or be obese? Tell me in the comments below. I need to know. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, cause I need to know. Fat phobia definitely does exist. Irrational fear, prejudice, or discrimination aimed towards people with larger bodies. What are you on? Fat phobia does exist. Yes, but I also think that fat phobia, like the actual fear of being fat, to me, it feels logical. Like, I'm not saying there's a level of illogical and logical to every type of phobia, but I feel like fat phobia, like the actual fear of being obese, because I know that this isn't what they're talking about. They're using fat phobia in the same way that you would use like homophobia, right? But fat phobia, like the fear of actually being obese, it feels like a logical fear to me. Like, I'm not saying, again, there's levels. Like somebody who's going to the point of, starvation because they're so afraid of being obese, that is a problem and you should seek help. But if you are, like, I personally think that, yeah, I do have some fat phobia in me because I don't want to be obese, and it scares me because I almost got cancer. I was sick. The reason why I didn't gain any more than 232 pounds is because, well, 222 because I was 232 in high school. But the reason why I didn't get any fatter than 222 pounds is because I got really, really sick. I had to do something about it. And I turned my shit around. Okay? Considering some of them will knowingly consume tapeworms to lose weight doesn't surprise me. They're purposely eating affected produce. Nobody's doing tapeworms anymore. Where are you getting those? Where can I find them?
Oh my God, that's disgusting. Where did he post those?
Nobody's doing that anymore. Nobody is doing tapeworms anymore. This is crazy. Surprise me. They're purposely eating infected food. No sane person is. If you are eating infected food or like seeking out infected food to get sick, like you need therapy. But if people are saying that they're joking. Nobody's doing tapeworms though. That's stupid. If you grow up being taught to hate your body because it doesn't conform to what others think is correct, I'm sure a temporary illness that lets you cast aside that for a bit sounds promising on the surface. It likely isn't that deep. It's just a fleeting thought. Okay, this person is of fat acceptance, but I would say, it seems like that to me. I would say that it is just a fleeting thought, I am joking when I say I wouldn't be mad, but that goes away. I'm not going to Taco Bell anytime soon to get diarrhea parasite. Fat phobia is chill, though. Why would you want to be fat? It hurts your health. Okay. Fat phobia is chill, though. Do you guys remember when we used to write poetry to each other? Do you remember when men used to write letters and letters and letters to their loved ones, to their women of choice? Do you remember when we used to do that shit? And now we're saying fat phobia is chill, though. Do you remember that? I was fat and my heart rate was terrible, my BP was high, and I lost weight, and now my numbers are healthy and I just feel better overall. I want it because I Oh my goodness. Okay. I want it because I really have bad intestine issues. I don't poop every day. I don't care about losing weight. I wonder if I get it, I would convince my intestines to work properly again. Edit. Thought we were talking about the poop bug that's in our greens right now. We were, I thought. I also thought that. Good. If you have a problem with your poop and you're like are constipated often, personally, I mean some people would say eat more fiber. Sometimes fiber can back you up though. I would say get your thyroid checked out because I mean I do have Hashimoto's and that was I would have like I would poop like once a week when it was really really bad. It was terrible, you guys. It was terrible. Now I poop every day and I tell my husband about it. Anyway, you guys, that is the video for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday and an even more wonderfuler weekend. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. If you're still not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Meow. Okay, because we're friends now. And then if it's giving you the option to hype it, please hype it. Check the links below because there's a link to become a member today. It's $2 a month. You get an extra video every weekend, which means I'm going to film again tomorrow and probably post it tomorrow or on Sunday. But you do get one every single weekend. Again, check out my community post. I am working on getting my art put onto some t-shirts and I have plans, you guys. I just have plans and I couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. If you made it all the way to the end, leave a donut in the comments below because we're trying to fight diabetes and donuts are diabetical. Okay? Goodbye. You were the best good thing about this part of town. Be-loo-loo, be-loo-loo, be-loo, be-loo-loo, be-loo-loo, be-loo.
Do you remember when we met? Last day I knew you were my pet. I wanna tell you that I love